If Deandre Hopkins truly wants to win a Super Bowl someday, then the easiest path for him is to come to the Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. If Deandre Hopkins really wants to win, and this is where we're going to find out what he's all about. Is he about winning, or is he only about the straddle? That's going to be the question, because if really he wants to win, then the easiest path for him to do that is to come to the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, you know the deal. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, hit that like. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you give to me day after day, week after week. It's truly humbling. It really is. And I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. Now, I'm going to jump right into this mother humper because I'm feeling a little bit fired up. I'm fired up about this whole DeAndre Hopkins thing, right? I've had a chance to kind of think about the whole situation of him getting cut and if the Eagles should sign him. I've had a chance to think about it, to reflect on it. I don't meditate because I ain't into that crap, but to talk, think about it. I sat in bed. My wife's like, "Hey, baby, want babies?" And I said, "Baby, I got things to think about. I got to think about DeAndre Hopkins here. What we will do with the babies real quick, and then I got to get back to DeAndre Hopkins." So, I've been thinking a lot about this, and the conclusion I come up with is this: should the Eagles pursue DeAndre Hopkins? 1,000,000% absolutely yes. Yes. Now, why do I say that? It's simple. DeAndre Hopkins would help the Eagles. We all know that the Eagles may have a situation where we may not feel comfortable with Quez Watkins. At least some of you guys out there. I personally want to give him a chance, but I can't rate Quez Watkins in for sure and say, yeah, he's definitely going to be better than he was a year ago. I hope he is. I think he's got the potential, but we've got to see it. Now, you're in a situation, right? You're in a situation that comes up once every, 5 to 10 years where you have an opportunity to do something like this. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about putting out an offense that is so unstoppable that people just can't do anything about it. That you're going to be so far ahead above everybody else that even any deficiency you may have at linebacker, you may have a safety, it won't matter because teams can't keep up with you offensively. You have a chance to do that. You have a chance to do something that in 10 years people will be talking about. You have the chance to do something great. You understand what I'm saying? So, from the Eagles' perspective, yeah, you absolutely got to jump all over this, okay? You've got to jump all over it. Now, I will say this. The current favorites to land DeAndre Hopkins at this point are two teams, Kansas City and Buffalo. Unfortunately, for those two teams, they've got cap problems. Get this. Kansas City Chiefs. Currently, the Chiefs have the second least cap space in the NFL per over the cap. They have just $652,000 available to spend, so they would have to restructure some contracts to open up space needed to sign Hopkins. All right, so that's them. The Buffalo Bills. The Bills are in a slightly better shape than the Chiefs, but only barely. Buffalo has the least third cap space in the league at $1.4 million. So while they would at least be able to offer Hopkins a minimum type contract with their open space, unlike the Chiefs, they can't offer him much more than that. So these two teams, the two favorites, are basically in cap hell. Now, they can restructure, and there's always ways to manipulate it. So I don't get caught up when people go, "You don't have cap space. You don't have cap space." Not really true. Teams always find a way to finagle it, especially the Philadelphia Eagles. As far as the Eagles are concerned, The Eagles currently have $13.4 million in cap space, which is 11th in the NFL. If DeAndre Hopkins would be willing to sign a one-year deal, Howie should be interested. Now, I agree with Brandon D there about a one-year deal. I think that should be the play. And the pitch should be this to DeAndre Hopkins, okay? This is the pitch. You would like to go sign a giant contract. Well, it's late in the year. A lot of teams don't have money. Come to Philly for 1 year. We'll work out a decent contract for you for 1 year. And you play, and then you can go sign with whoever you want. In the meantime, you come in, you play slot, and you try to win a championship. Because what this is about, at the end of the day, it's about winning a championship. Okay? And I have to say that, yes, the Chiefs and Bills may be the media's favorite to land him. I think the best two teams that have the opportunity to land DeAndre Hopkins are the Eagles and the Cowboys. Cowboys have about $10 million in cap space, okay? And I'm not the only one to say this. Sports Illustrated, Jacob Canemaker, is that what it is? Canemaker, whatever. He agrees with me. DeAndre Hopkins contract projection. Why the Cowboys and the Eagles have the easiest path to sign Cardinals wide receiver after release. And it's simple. It's because they've got the money. They've got the money. So, to me, we are going to find out what DeAndre Hopkins is all about. Because if DeAndre Hopkins truly wants to win a Super Bowl, then the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team to go to. And why do I say that over the Chiefs and over the Bills? The reason is that the Eagles play in the NFC conference. The Bills and the Chiefs play in the AFC conference. If you look at the best teams in the NFL, they're all in the AFC. They're all in the AFC. I mean, that AFC is going to be war. You got the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the Ravens. You got all those teams. You got Aaron Rodgers there with the Jets. I don't know what the Jets are going to be, but you got the chart. You got a lot of really good teams, and all the best quarterbacks except for Jalen Hurts are in the AFC. So if you're smart, if Hopkins really wants to win and have the best shot to go to the Super Bowl and win a ring and win a championship, then by going to Philly, the Eagles' road to the Super Bowl would be a lot easier than Buffalo's. It would be a lot easier than the Chiefs, because you only have to mess with those teams one time in the playoffs. Okay, the Chiefs are going to have to play the Bengals. They're going to have to play the Bills. It's a harder road. I'm not saying it's impossible, especially for the Chiefs, but it's an easier road in the NFC. Now, if DeAndre Hopkins was to go to Dallas, and I'm going to keep this real. If he was to go to Dallas, and if he was to be what he's been in the past, then DeAndre Hopkins on Dallas would make Dallas the second best team in the conference. And the battle between the two teams would be the Eagles and Dallas. You see, I look at this as an arms race. Okay, this is an arms race. This is what the NFL has come. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, this is how the NFL exists. You have free agents, you have a salary cap, you get the best players that you can possibly get at all times, and you try to put a team together. Now, one of the arguments against getting DeAndre Hopkins for the Eagles is, well, how will he mesh with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? That's a great question. But here's the thing. I think A.J. Brown's got a good head on shoulders and wants to win. I think Devontae Smith wants to win. Of course, these guys are going to have to be willing to take less, maybe get less balls thrown at them, maybe certain things like that. But at the end of the day, they're going to have a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. I believe that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith would be open to this, because it's just such a insane opportunity. You got to do it. Now, I'm not talking about, I don't think they should sign DeAndre Hopkins to like a 4-year deal, anything like that. I think that you need to try to sell him on a 1-year deal. You need to try to sell him to come for 1 year and win a Super Bowl, and then go get your big free agent contract. But for 1 year, while it's June essentially, and teams don't have cap space, and you can't possibly get the amount of money you could in when the offseason begins, this could be the perfect time for DeAndre Hopkins to go out and and play with a team and have a chance to win a ring. The Eagles are the best team to do that, because if the Eagles get them, then there's nobody even close in the conference to catching them. The Eagles should be awesome. And listen, the other thing is, you never can have too much depth. You just never can. You never know when guys will get hurt. Knock on wood, where the hell it is. But you just don't know. So why not have the depth if you can have it? I think that this is actually a move that I think we've got a shot. I think it's possible. I think this is the type of move Howie would be willing to do. And I think, a lot of it depends on how much Deandre Hopkins wants to win. Now, a lot of people are making chatter about he was in Philly for lunch. I don't know about all that. Okay, he was in Philly for lunch. I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's speaking to the Eagles or not? So I don't get too caught up in he's in Philly for lunch, because that doesn't mean anything to me. Unless it's he was in Philly for lunch and he was spotted with Howie Roseman. Then you got something there, or if he was spotted with Eagle teammates, I get it. But if he could be in Philly for 1,000 different things, okay? So I don't know. I don't put too much stock in it. What I put stock in is this. The Eagles got cap space. The Eagles have a chance to do something that other teams don't get a chance to do. To add 3 unbelievable wide receivers, 3 number 1 wide receivers. Essentially, you're going to have 1A, 1B, 1C, and basically overtake any defense that you play at any time. Get Jalen Hurts an MVP, get him a Super Bowl ring. That's what I see. But it comes down to, does DeAndre Hopkins value the Super Bowl ring, or does he want the money right away? If he's a little patient and he takes a chance for the ring for 1 year, then goes back, go sign with somebody else, God bless. Go get as much money as you can. That's what I say. Eagles have a chance to do something absolutely beautiful. Dallas, in my opinion, has a chance to catch up with the Eagles, or at least make it very competitive. But they have to do that too. So we'll see what happens. Right now, they have the Chiefs, the Bills leading the way, and we'll see where he lands, because I think the timing he got, released. It's just like Bradbury last year. Bradbury was released late. There was just only so many options. Why not go to a team that you're going to have hey, coming off my injury, I still can play, I still can be at a high level, and I'm going to get paid next year. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to win championship. It just makes perfect sense to me. And the Eagles make the most sense because they have the least path of resistance getting back to the Super Bowl, because they play in the NFC. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Dude, I'm hearing good reviews about this Flash movie. All of a sudden, I'm getting a little bit excited about it. You know what I mean? Dude, I hope this movie is as good as I think it's not going to be. I really do, because I have zero expectations. And sometimes that's the best case scenario, You don't ever want to go in with expectations like The Last Jedi, which stunk. You know what I mean? You want to have, low expectations, then be pleasantly surprised, then disappointed. That's what I think. Denzel Washington out.